Oh, sorry. I'm on the Discord with everybody right now. Hey, DJ CK, I think you did post in the right Discord channel. I'll just announce this real fast. We are giving away another NFT tonight as a part of the Hourglass Live collection. So if you join our Discord and then verify yourself and then go to the HG giveaway page and then post a selfie of yourself in the Hourglass venue. I was looking at everybody's right now and they're already looking so great. I love that I made a cameo in some of them. I feel very honored. But enter, and this raffle is going to end at the top of the second set. I mean, we'll give you like 5 minutes into the second set, but it's gonna end like right there. So everybody take your selfies now. I'm up on the second floor if anybody wants to come and find me. Take a little cute pic. But we're gonna do a fun little Q&A right now with the band. So I wanna start. Does everybody just wanna introduce themselves real fast? Say a little bit about yourself, just like name where you're from.
My name is Teddy Shoe, and I'm from here in Richmond. I play saxophone, trumpet, and vocals. I'm DJ Eric.
My name is Teddy Shoe from Richmond, Virginia, and I play the trumpet and the saxophone, and I rap and do vocals and Butch Brown.
Hey, I'm DJ Harrison, here from Richmond, Virginia. I play the keyboards.
I'm Morgan Grace, play the guitar, as you see, and other stuff. I'm Aaron Goswell from Richmond, and I play bass. My name is Farmville, I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I play drums.
All right, and then also we have a live feed going of the chat, so if anybody tuning in, if you're in Decentraland, if you're on YouTube, if you have any questions to ask, be sure to throw those out there and then we'll answer them as well. So everybody send some in if you have any questions. I'm monitoring the Decentraland chat if anybody here has questions. But have you guys ever done anything like a concert in a video game before? Or is this like brand new?
This is the first one. Thank you for telling me.
Have you guys ever played anything like Decentraland before? Do you even know what it is?
No. Some of us know what it is. I mean, I know what it is.
Yeah.
I've never actually played in a digital venue before.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else has, but I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you guys want to see the venue if you haven't seen it yet? We'll take a little peek. I'll turn my computer to the best of my ability. We've got, it's like double seating. We got conversation pits, a bar. There's like a whole level up top where you can see down at the screen, but like it's great quality. Oh yeah, hold on. There's like, oh, let me, now you can like.
Jump. Everyone jump. Woo.
Yeah, everybody in the game jump.
Everybody jump.
Or get some, you can dance too. I always throw down the dance moves because it's fun. They're loving you guys in there. This one, everybody is like blowing up the chat this whole entire time. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, everybody jump if you're in Decentraland. If you're at home too, get up off the couch, take a jump right now. Yeah, exactly. I have one question. Where did the name Butcher Brown come from?
So there was this video game that was on PlayStation and also Sega Dreamcast called Ready to Roll Boxing. And it's from the late 90s, early 2000s. And there was a character on that video game named Butcher Brown, kind of like a really broad guy. I think it may have been inspired by Mike Tyson in a sense. But anyway, the DJ and I were playing that game 10 years ago. He blurted out a person that we all know. And the person that we know kind of looks like the character. And so essentially, that name just stuck with us, and so we decided to call it Butcher Brown.
Yeah.
And it seems kind of catchy too.
Yeah.
something for them because I come home looking for it.
Yeah.
Like those little scooters. We rode skip scooters in San Francisco. And one day I was turning the corner, I saw a skip scooter. I was like, yes. So stuff like that. You know, Richmond is slowly getting, it's just getting cool stuff every day. I feel like every time I drive around this place, it's something else.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
Yeah. Anybody else, or is that sum it up?
I mean, obviously, there's like a huge community with like all the arts and the musician community. Everyone's pretty tight knit, so that's definitely a favorite aspect of it. Like I met so many people just being from here, and just like tapping into so many different genres and so many different styles that I probably would have never figured out. So there's obviously like the small tight knit community aspect, but the food, of course, too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What's your guys' favorite place to eat in Richmond?
M&F Jamaican. It's a small little truck. Small little truck across the bridge. Hey,
Mama J's. Mama J's.
Wait a minute now. I'm gonna hip y'all to some stuff. E2 Mama on the other side of Nickel Bridge. It's right across the street from the new Roastology. Oh my goodness, that place is off the hook.
I have to say proper pie. You know, it's more of a cafe vibe.
Yeah.
But that's my spot.
Very good.
I'm gonna have to give it to Mekong for me, Mekong.
All right, all right.
Shout out to the Nile too. That's home. They famous.
Yeah. The scooters? Yeah, all right. Have you guys ever like wiped out on a scooter? It's pretty smooth sailing so far. Oh yeah? Oh no.
I wiped out a few times. Scooter, longboard, short, penny board, bike, motorcycle,
Oh yeah.
running, walking.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've wiped out many a time on the Richmond streets. They're a little, or like on the bricks. Sometimes you like have to get off the street and it's like you can only skate across the bricks for a
There's a
second.
little learning curve to those scooters, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not a Segway or anything like that.
No.
It's like you gotta, it won't catch you.
No, it's like, yeah, it has handles, but it's not like foolproof at all. Not at all. Boom.
Hey, what's up, man, Christine?
Okay. All right, we have just a couple more announcements before we jump back into the set. But thank you guys so much for chatting with me on this little break. But again, this is like your last minute warning about the NFT raffle. So take a selfie in the Hourglass venue, hop on over to our Discord to the HG giveaway channel and post the selfie. And then the sexiest one wins. No, I'm just kidding. It's random, but I wish it was the sexiest one wins. Because then everybody would like put on their best wearables. But speaking of that, everybody who's joining us here in Decentraland, coming soon we're going to have a lot of digital merch. So you can buy wearables and special NFTs, so really keep your eye out for that. And then also keep an eye out because we are lining up some awesome DJs. And we're trying to do like a weekly like live DJ, kind of like a nightclub experience, but obviously from your couch because we are a virtual little group here. So everybody keep your eye out for these things that are coming. You can find us on Instagram at hourglass.sessions. We are on Twitter at hourglasssesh. That's like S-E-S-H, Hourglass Sesh. And then our Venmo is hourglass-sessions. And then also there are QR codes and things of our crypto wallets and our Discord if you have yet to explore those. And everybody in Decentraland, be sure to run over to the back corner and get a Pope, like your little token that you were here, because we're going to have a bunch of those for you. So be sure to grab this one. And everybody, be sure to enter that NFT raffle. But I really just want to get back to the music, so I am going to throw it back over to Butcher Brown.
Decentraland. Here we go. King Butch. Yeah. Yo, pass it to the homie on the couch. Yellowstone room, homie, welcome to the South. Bringing up a check, calling to collect. Studio live, got the tools on the couch. What's that all about? Holla, baby, shout. You know we put you round and we finna turn it out. You know you cannot do without need the medicine in your brain. Without the intermission high. King Butch coming like a freight train in the left lane. 150 miles an hour, kinda insane. Real shit, man. Be the lion, higher octane with the big man, can't constrain. Obtain every title, no tip, man. So everybody in the world know my name. African to the death with an S on my chest, a no-brainer. Not fit for containers. Get it or get out, my homie, just make a decision. Looking through the prism for the intermission. Fuck over the wishing. Yo, we designed for the grind. Mindset soldiers holding on the front line. We took the beats and mixed it with the savage. And put the shit in the suit. Got habits that's mad lavish. Remembered all the homies that they told me you could have it. Cause you can have it with the sweat from your neck. And a self-placed back in the mirror. Man told my nigga your dreams on your shoulders. 100 million lashes, but you know they couldn't hold us. They overworked and undersold us. With a bag full of fries and some sugar sodas. Even with the blueprint, they know they can't decode us. As I feel I was beautiful in the yellow lotus. I stay focused and stay close with all the homies from the Ville. And I keep it real, you know the deal. Teddy Shoe. I'm just here to pop shit. Flow will get the whole party lit. We can never quit, we too legit. But you're brown, man, we is the shit. So bump it in the whip for who you with. I see your name a lot when I'm on my phone. And without the bag, you get a no. Time is leaving, so I gotta go. Cause I'm catching no ride, ain't got no space for speeches. Every day I go home, I use they soft like peaches. Feel that quota, sip them sodas on the beaches. Hold up. I got gum in my mouth, they can see shit. People making it to me, I'm bleeding. Got the wind in the traffic, I'm weaving. Yo, they handed it to me, not even. I be running like every season. It's on automatic and no reason. Step into my office, have a seat in. Take a Brother, tell me what you need and take a couple racks for your troubles. One slide into the gang. Get a bag full of chicken wings and some brown water for the hang. Fucking up the road, the Virginia Sound with your brown we bang. Wise woman once told me, nigga, you gotta sing international. We just starting 5 like 96, and yeah, that's factual. 7 and 11 on the dice, that's why we piping you. I can do what you cannot. Spaceship to the top, never slip, fall off while the clock drop. Had a paper ready when the album drop. And the bag of it will be full of out front. Evil could be was how we stunt. Mind on the ground for what you want. Empty, not the fire and the flame don't front. Does anybody really know the meaning? It's tennis shoe and put your brown on you wild heathen. Sunshine bright, the children will play. Come alive at night, but I won't stay unless the playback sound right, so please don't play. Yeah, we so live right now. Tennis shoe shit, so you know how I get down. Ice Skywalker never ever comes down. DJ Harrison, my next to kin, and we from Butcher Brown. Always out of town, world tour for the masses. Hit the stage, hit the stage, finna play the classics. Other niggas flashing, my shit burn like acid, just like the first time. Just like unwrap the plastic. I promise I am not blasted, but the lyrics were made with precision, handcrafted. The clown shit is getting unmasked, so no faking, no crocodile tears. The right situation can expose all of the fears. Break your fucking neck just for a new pack of beers, but methods to flip the money, not some shit you're trying to hear. So, hey, off the road I veer, legs shaking like Bambi, oh my dear. Lame sweeter than candy yams, and they clam up while I'm steady watching from the pier. Yo, what is this? I'ma just mind my business, get the business. Poppin' is the only option. Now it ain't no stopping, not even when the record dropping. Not until the whole world copping. Every dance flow straight popping. Roof panel rocking, whole beat knocking. Just like opportunity, need some more peace, love, hair grease and unity. Especially what this shit do to me, that attitude ain't nothing new to me. These tunes put your ass moving, get you hate. Step back, this is greatness in the making we create. Thank you, Decentraland and Hourglass, for having us. We are Butcher Brown. We live in Richmond. We'll see y'all next time.
Just want to give a quick birthday shout out to my little cousin here. I think she just turned 10 today.
Happy birthday! Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sierra. That's amazing. What a fun little birthday treat, a little Hourglass live concert. But thank you so much, Butcher Brown, for being here tonight and for an amazing show. This was just absolutely stunning. I hope you guys all had an amazing time at home. I don't know how you couldn't after watching that. But thank you so much for tuning in to everyone on all the platforms, and especially thank you to everyone in Decentraland for being with us on our grand opening for the Hourglass. And again, a huge thank you to the whole Festival Land team for helping us put this venue together, and of course to James with Festival Land. We really couldn't do it without you. And then we want to do a fun little community spotlight right here for somebody who is just doing amazing things in Decentraland as well. At DCL Curations just made his own line of wearables, and he was actually wearing it tonight, and everybody was talking about it in the chat. So if you are on Decentraland right now, be sure to check out those wearables that DCL Curations made. And thank you to everybody who I was talking to tonight, to Key Beats, to everybody who was in here. I had a great time with you guys tonight, and I had a wonderful time with Butcher Brown. But this is the real moment that a lot of you have been waiting for. We do, in fact, have the NFT raffle winners. There are 3 of you. I'm going to pull up the NFT again. So the 3 people who won this beautiful Hourglass collection, the 3rd in our collection here, NFT, we've got, I'm going to butcher these usernames because they are kind of not real words, but Strabuska, number 2803. We've got FreeX2533, Bobblehead 5933. So thank you to you 3 and to everybody else who sent in their selfies. Those were absolutely amazing to look at. We're going to post a bunch of them on our Instagram, on our Twitter, on everything. So thank you for being with us tonight in Decentraland and on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you may have streamed in from. Thank you so much for tuning in, and this was Butcher Brown. Thank you guys. Good night. Woo!
to explode. So hello, this is the Hacker Noon podcast. I am your host, Utsav Jaiswal. I am the head of business development at Hacker Noon and also their blockchain editor. Today we have three guests with us who are from three different domains in the blockchain space. We have Tim Frost from Yield, which is like a DeFi protocol. We have Aaron Phillips, who is from Polygon, previously known as Matic, and we have Miles Anthony, who is the CEO at Decentraland Games. Without further ado, I would let these guys like go over it one by one and tell us what to do. Let's start with you first, Tim.
No, thanks for having us today. Very, very quick. I'm the CEO at Yield app. What we are doing is we have a very simple way for people to invest in DeFi. We are a licensed fintech, and it's simple. You can register with us in about 2 minutes, deposit your funds, invest in DeFi, and we take care of the rest. Make it very simple to earn yields powered through decentralized finance.
Definitely, and we would like to understand more of like what DeFi is, what DeFi does, and what it would like look like in the next few years. Let's move over to like you, Arun.
Hey, thanks for having me. So my name is Aaron Phillips. I lead a lot of the community and marketing initiatives at Polygon. And yeah, we were previously known as Matic Network. What Polygon basically is, it's just a scaling solution for Ethereum. Our mission is to bring more users, bring more applications, build the whole ecosystem of Ethereum. So yeah, pleasure to be here.
Got it. Now that you say it, it sounds so simple. But when I go to your website, it's like Ethereum's Internet of Blockchain. I'm like, okay.
Let's hope this podcast makes it a little easier for some people. Yeah.
Definitely, I would be one of those guys. So yeah, thank you for being here. Then we have Miles Anthony, who is the CEO at Decentraland Games. Miles.
Thanks for having me. What's up? Essentially, Decentraland Games is a virtual casino governed by the DG token that's based in the metaverse. And the way we've constructed it is basically all the profits from the games congregate in our DAO treasury, and then the DG token holders essentially govern the funds in that treasury and can allocate them to as they wish. One other thing to add is in our games, we basically give away tokens to incentivize participation to the players. And as a result, all of our players become hodlers. So we've been able to build quite a big community around that.
Got it. And I see this like interesting thing. I think like based on my own experiences, Miles, I think like you are the only guy of our age who doesn't have a beard and belongs to crypto. So yeah, kudos for like bucking the trend on that front. So yeah, with that like beside us, let's go into like what is it that you guys do? Like the first question that like I find to be very hard to explain is trying to explain to my mom what I do. How would like you guys do it? Let's start with like you, Arun, because you have an Indian mom too. So tell me like, how do you explain to your mom what you do?
That's an interesting question. I think my mom also wants to know more about what Polygon does. Like, I've told her to buy the Matic token and stuff. So she's very happy on that side of things. Like she's like, yes, is it going up? Is it going down? But yeah, she hasn't asked me this question, like, what do you actually do? So I think, if I would have to tell this to my mom, I think I would start with explaining what Ethereum is first, because I think everyone at Polygon who's working here, you might call us ETH maxis possibly. So everything is driven by Ethereum. Our vision is driven by Ethereum. So I would start by explaining Ethereum to her first. I would start off with the explanation of how Ethereum is this global supercomputer. Imagine this a really high power supercomputer, but it's decentralized. It's spread out throughout the world. And then I would tell her, but hey, there is a problem with this computer. Hey, there's too many transactions happening. It's become really expensive to use this computer. And that is why this bunch of Indians and some now like a super global team all around the world, like, hey, we want to make this computer a little easier to use, a little cheaper to use. And that's where the whole Polygon sort of vision has come in. We want to making Ethereum, using this supercomputer a little cheaper, a little faster, and a little more accessible. So people, it doesn't matter if you have big fat wallets and you have to pay $20, $30 for every transaction. We want everyone to get these benefits of Ethereum. So that's in a nutshell how to tell this to my mom.
Gotcha. And for those of you like listening who probably don't understand Ethereum, instead of following Vitalik Buterin, follow his dad, Dmitry Buterin. He makes it so easy to understand so many things. I'm like, okay, no wonder like he's the father of like Vitalik. With that said, let's move over to Miles. Miles, how do you explain to your mom that you are building an entire new world, terraforming, NFTs and whatnot?
So essentially, we've built a casino inside a virtual world called Decentraland, and it started off with just simple casino games. And so you're able to hop in this virtual environment and play games with other avatars. And in doing so, you can play with cryptocurrency on Polygon. And while as you're playing, you get rewarded kind of by the amount of your wager back in DG tokens. And by using those tokens and staking them, you're able to govern the future of the project essentially. So yeah, I would say just a metaverse like 3D virtual casino governed by the community.
Gotcha. Your mom just heard like casino and she was like, okay.
Yeah. It's a bit tough. There's definitely there's a disconnect, but they're happy,
That's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
Moving over to Tim. So how do you explain to your mom, Tim, like what's like DeFi?
Yeah, I've definitely had a little bit of practice with this about explaining to my mom what we do. So we are essentially like a crypto bank or a crypto wealth management application. So you simply sign up like you would at a Coinbase account or any of your Binance accounts. Sign up, register, do a little light KYC, deposit your crypto, and soon your fiat with us, and hit the invest button. So it's as simple as that. Once you actually hit that investment, all the investment strategies go into our managed fund on our back end. So we are predominantly into different yield farming strategies that are pretty vanilla in the back end. We're actually quite heavy into Matic at this point, or sorry, Polygon at this point as well. And we're branching out to many other kind of yield generating activities. So just making it very simple for everyone. That's kind of what our vision is.
Got it. Like, so did your mom have any follow-up questions after that? Like, you had such a nuanced explanation of what you do. I'm sure that there was some follow-up questions.
I mean, of course, there always is. I mean, how are you generating yields and try to understand? And yes, it is. We are taking essentially capital, aggregating capital, and deploying this into kind of proven different yield farming strategies. So we're able to take it, whether that's Ether or stable coins or any other asset that we'll be managing in the future, and we take this and do deploy this, and we kind of monitor the networks 24/7, and then we are able to shift capital to the best performing pools that have past or kind of risk committees. So it is it's the bulk of the work is, of course, it is done by us and our management team on this side. So it's much like any type of traditional investment. If you're going to be investing into a fund, overall you're kind of understanding which type of asset class you're investing in. If that's it's different stocks or equities, but the underlying management of those different positions are done by the professionals, and that's what our aim is to kind of bridge traditional kind of financial instruments and this everything that's happening in DeFi and just crypto overall.
Got it. Like, as I said, as long as the parents are happy, that's all that matters. Switching gears here. So I guess all of us have been in the blockchain space or the Ethereum space for a long time. We have seen it evolve from what it was let's say 5 years ago to what it is right now. 2015 when they did their ICO, and then they started building stuff. It was under a different name, and now we have such a vibrant ecosystem and whatnot. So looking back from the prism of your own projects, and I want to have this question answered by Miles first, is looking back, what do you think you would have wanted to do differently at Decentral Games?
Looking back, I mean, we tracked Decentraland from the beginning of their ICO, and I actually didn't start the project until 2 years after their project started, and then we didn't release a token until 2020, very end of 2020, and it was all kind of a sequence of events based on what was going on in the market, what was working, different token models being experimented with, and some successful, some not, and so yeah, I mean, I think knowing what I know today, I obviously would have steered the ship differently in prior times, and one of the things was. We were a bit too generous, I feel early on with our liquidity mining programs. That's one specific thing that I probably would have toned back. I think we were just really inspired by the new token models and after DeFi summer with Yearn and Sushi and kind of giving tokens away early to the community. But that being said, I think our timing was good. So I'm glad that we launched when we did. Looking back, obviously there's always things that you can change,
exactly.
But I gotta appreciate the decisions that you made to get you where you are. So overall, pretty happy with the timing and everything.
Got it. Let's go over to you, Tim. What's your hindsight 2020 moment?
Well, definitely. So I guess about March last year was the time I kind of sat down with one of my colleagues and went through kind of just DeFi in general. I'd been paying attention off and on, and then he sat me down and really ran me down everything that was really happening in DeFi. And that was, my background is high growth fintechs. I have several very, very successful fintech that I've helped launch and found. And that kind of moment started when we were actually, just looking at Curve and just, we sat down there for a couple hours and he was explaining how it works and this, and it was a full economy that had kind of merged. So that was about last March. Then we kind of ran into that strong DeFi summer. It took me to about August, and about mid-August when I finally decided to start the Yield app. And if anything, I think I wish I would have kind of jumped the gun a little bit sooner, right? Because, we did have, fairly good timing. You can always be, a little bit earlier. I think I saw what was about to happen a little bit earlier, but I mean, like anything, you're going to always make, listen, you're always going to make mistakes, whether that's hiring the wrong people, or have just made, legacy tech kind of wrong choices. So, ours, we've probably made a few wrong steps on the tech choices and where we're going. We're completely rebuilding our application right now to be able to scale. We have 43,000 users today. We made a decision a few months ago. We need to rebuild this and redesign where we're going to be able to scale, which what I like to see is millions of people in the next couple of years.
Definitely. And the way we see it is that the DeFi space is just heating up. For example, a few weeks ago or a few months ago, only a handful of people knew about flash loans and how they could leverage it. But now, due to these infamous flash loan attacks or whatnot, at least the attention is there in the right direction. Zero interest loans, that is something that nobody knew that they could get from anybody except from their families. And with that, let's move to the next one. Aaron, so what's your hindsight 2020 moment?
So I think I would echo what Tim said also. For us too, it was something similar along those lines. I think maybe we wish we would have. Right now, we're super aggressive on DeFi, on NFTs, but I think just when DeFi summer was getting started, we weren't that aggressively, pursuing DeFi and that aggressively pursuing some of the biggest apps and stuff. Right now, we've learned from that. We are going super aggressive. But if I had to change one thing, it would be, like when Sushi launched, right? So aggressive, like. I mean, we were in a different position then. Also, now we're in a better position to go aggressive. But yeah, I think, in hindsight, it's easy to say this. And then just a side note too, like, I'm just super happy Miles had like a generous liquidity mining program, because I think I was in like sort of DG from quite early days, so it was really generous, like the rewards and stuff. So, so I'm happy about it.
So it actually turned out to be a good thing for some people, I suppose. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. And just to like add to your like point, Arun, DeFi summer started like what? Like when we were right in the middle of crypto winter. And those of us like went through it, like we were gonna be cautious, like cut it however way you want it, but like we would have been cautious. So yeah, but glad that we were like able to make those changes at the right time. Polygon is doing amazing at this like time. So yeah, definitely more power to you guys. Let's move to the next one is, when we talk about the industries in general, like when I say the industry, I mean the blockchain side of things and the application side of things that we do. For example, in the case of Tim, he like competes directly with the traditional like fintech side of things. If it comes to Miles, he competes directly with those gaming organizations that are like trying to leverage what he does. And when it comes to Arun, I believe that like you guys are doing it, like what you are doing is probably the first thing that I see, but like happy to know what is your take on the industry that you guys belong to. Where are your synergies? Where are your intersections? And more about that. Let's go with Tim first on that.
So just to understand your question correct, I mean, just where's kind of the synergies and where's this space going overall? Well, I mean, it's a whirlwind. I mean, crypto overall just moves like very fast in all directions that it's going to be moving. I mean, DeFi itself, we as a company, I mean, we're quite cautious and quite conservative. But you kind of touched on a few things earlier. I mean, there's the vulnerabilities are still yet to fully be discovered in all these sophisticated ways that things can be exploited. So. Overall, I mean, we're all, I guess, learning on the fly. And I think even oftentimes we talk to different protocols that have kind of launched, and I think we're all kind of writing the future, like one day at a time. And so it's very humbling, I would say. I think, crypto and DeFi in general, I mean, it's, the one thing you'll never have it figured out. There's a few people who have it probably mastered and are really leading the way, and the rest of us are just, constantly trying to, understand where it's going and what is actually happening. So, it's you got to be quite cautious to build in this space, especially with our business model, because we can't invest into different anywhere where a flash loan could actually be attack vector or a vault, and many other great opportunities that you might see as maybe an individual investor, but as a company overall. But it is a kind of a very exciting space and very exciting times, and we are building an economy that is emerging right now, and we're, I guess, doing this kind of together, and it's kind of shaping it in front of our eyes.
Not like, does that help your case, or does it like also turn you off like it does for Arun?
Overall, it'll be bullishness, yeah.
Got it. So speaking of the USA, what do you have to say about that, Miles? Like, what's your take on the industry, regulation, some of the blatant advertisements that you see or whatnot? Like, does that help your case, or does it like also turn you off like it does for Arun?
I would say, like, for the most part, they just try to make examples out of folks like that are not doing something that's helpful for the community of crypto at large. So so far I think it's just kind of expected from the US, and they go after the big guys and try to make an example out of them. But I feel like the positives obviously outweigh the negatives in crypto innovation, and something like Polygon's DeFi for all campaigns, being able to allow just regular people to hop into DeFi, earn yields, anywhere from 20-40% even on some stable coins. It's pretty unprecedented, and allowing folks to do that from their own wallets is huge. And I think that definitely outweighs like some of these scams that are going on where tokens are being dumped on the general public. So I would say I think from the US perspective, I think it's it's expected that there's going to be some regulatory backlash, but I think the innovation really outweighs everything.
Got it. And speaking of like innovations, like where do you see the like metaverse like world going in the next 5 years or so? Like we have like come a long way when we were like playing all of those like MMORPG games to like where we have entire like worlds. Like I remember this game called Second Life, like when I was back in school, and I remember that like I was too old when this game, like what's it called? Minecraft. Like I was like too old for like Minecraft, so I never like got into it, but I see it has its huge like subculture side of things. So like where do you see like that fitting into your own like narrative for metaverses, NFTs and whatnot?
Yeah, so crypto is actually a huge essential piece of the metaverse. NFTs essentially, and of course crypto, fungible crypto, mainly just because all of these prior like more centralized metaverses basically were the custodian of all your your items, your digital assets, and your digital currency within the world. And so as a result, some folks did actually spend a lot of money on accumulating digital assets, but at the end of the day, you're kind of at the mercy of whoever the gatekeeper is that runs the platform that you're building stuff or socializing with other folks in. And I think because of that, you didn't really have any property rights essentially. And so I think once some of these projects like Decentraland popped up, it allows the users of the platform to actually be the custodian of their non-fungible tokens and their crypto. So I think that was a huge step into kind of like building this kind of bigger picture that we kind of refer to as the open metaverse, and it's just getting started. I think it was definitely accelerated by COVID as more folks were spending time indoors, and wanting kind of like to essentially hang out in a kind of a virtual social environment. And by metaverse, it's essentially just a 3D like social virtual environment where you can play games. Attend conferences, stuff like that, where it's permissionless, so anyone can hop in, no matter where you are. You just have to have a wallet. You can just hop in. So I think the innovation in the metaverse space is really just getting started. For us, our business model is pretty straightforward. From the game side of things, obviously casino games are very popular and they are pretty widely known like how to play. So for us, it was pretty easy to become one of the most popular applications building in the metaverse. And so as a result, because the games were making money and profitable, we're able to employ people. So it was worth it for us to actually hire a team of 20 people to basically take shifts and with their avatars and spend time inside the metaverse, inside of our virtual casino, to help players onboard and just fill it up at the early days, so that anyone that hops in they can have help with depositing crypto. They have someone to play with, ask questions to directly, rather than just kind of going through FAQ or trying to do research on their own. So I think it's a huge step in the right direction. I think there will be a lot of business models kind of built around this premise, where actually having people staffed in the metaverse is going to be worth it for them, and provide value for their product. But yeah, like I said, I think we're just we're very early with the metaverse, and for the next 2 years, I mean, there's definitely going to be a huge move towards VR, for sure. I think that's like a huge request, because right now it's kind of limited to just viewing it on a 2D screen, and it's not very immersive. It's social, but it's not like you're not like in a virtual environment, fully immersed in it. And so I think that'll be a huge step. But obviously it takes time, and the technology needs to catch up to what people are requesting. And obviously as well, Polygon was a huge piece of enabling this, is the possibility of actually people building an economy inside this virtual world, because traditionally it was on Ethereum, and Decentraland had to move over to Polygon because it just wasn't reasonable to ask folks to spend like $20 to send a single item or make a single trade, especially when those items are close to that amount as well. So they just released the Polygon marketplace for their NFTs, and I think it's going to enable a lot of people to get involved, because they're not deterred by the huge gas fee for as a barrier to entry. So I'm really excited for that integration. I've been pushing them for a long time for that, because we've been working with Polygon since the beginning of DG, pretty much. We knew that we had to build on Polygon, because you need to have speed and you need to have low cost, because we pay gas on behalf of our users.
Got it. So now I'd like to switch some gears and to calm the mood of this room altogether. I have this fun question. Okay, so let's say that there is a genie who pops up and, hey, so I give you
to spend $20 to send, because right now it's kind of limited to and they can have help and you can just hop in. So for building stuff, or I would say I think from the US, I would say
Correct. I think I'm still sort of a little more hopeful, at least from these like this. So I feel regulation as a whole will be good for
Miles. What's your take on the industry, regulation, some of the blatant advertisements that you see or whatnot? Does that help your case, or does it also turn you off like it does for Arun?
I would say for the most part, they just try to make examples out of folks that are not doing something that's helpful.
We have come a long way when we were playing all of those MMORPG games to where we have entire worlds. I remember this game called Second Life, when I was back in school, and I remember that I was too old when this game, what's it called? Minecraft. I was too old.
So crypto was actually a huge.
Never this game called Second Life, world going in the next.
I think it's it's expected that there's going to be some regulatory backlash, but I think innovation really outweighs everything.
Got it. And speaking of innovations, where do you see the metaverse world going in the next 5 years or so? Like we have like come a long way when we were like playing all of those like
custodian of all your